after it was over, they announced that Cody was the new champion, the new TNA Knockouts champion. They didn't mention ODB there. But the one thing I did like about this is they had him pin Velvet Sky. You know what I mean? And Velvet isn't the wrestler. Well, I don't know how to put it, but Angelina Love is the backbone behind that team. You know what I mean? And to have her, you know, take the clean pin would have made no sense whatsoever. Not that it makes any sense anyway.
For a women's division, man, I was telling you, I dig that gimmick, that the beautiful people stuff. I think it's awesome. For a women's angle, that's
great. Angelina Love on the mic is off the hook, man.
I don't think I've ever heard them talk, but just their backstage stuff, their facials, and they're the cunty popular girls in high school, and I like it. I think it's a cool gimmick. Yeah.
It's the hot snobby bitch from high school. You know what I mean? The hot girl that
the cheerleader,
you can't have her.
Well,
no matter how hard you try. Yeah, you think you could.
I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was a high school kid, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
For the 1 or 2 years I went to high school, yeah.
We'll call you Matt Boom, high school pimp, baby.
Yeah, right.
All right, so where we leave off, new TNA Knockout champion Cody Deaner. God, that has Vince Russo written all over it. Doesn't
that Cody Deaner, my God, that dude is hard to watch, man. That's a whew.
Hey, we were talking about gimmicks earlier, right? That's a gimmick. That's a gimmick where, you know, Matt Morgan is himself. You know what I mean? Just be yourself. Cody Deaner, that's a gimmick.
We were talking about Santino Marella earlier. That's like a bad version of a redneck version of Santino Marella. That's what Cody Deaner is. Like worst comedy writers behind it. It's bad.
Yeah, that was. But come on, some of his stuff isn't bad. I mean, come on. He's got the one-liners that are all right.
No.
No? Who? None? Cody Deaner? He doesn't have any one-liners?
I've never heard him. The only time I ever heard him was when they, it was when ODB was picking a boyfriend or something, and it was on a pay-per-view, and it was like a contest. There was 3 guys in the ring, and ODB was making them do stuff, and then the winner got to be her boyfriend or her wrestler or something, and that was when Cody Deaner that was the first time I saw him. I thought that was just... it was bad, man.
Hey, Dynamite J in the chat room says you got the fat chicks in high school.
I've had a couple of those too. Yeah, I mean not in high school, but yeah. Who had
a couple big and beefy?
You go out, you drink a few times, and yeah. What are you gonna do?
Or you drink a couple beers and you stay big and beefy.
Remember Vegas?
Whatever. I do remember.
I had the big fat chick in Vegas when I got all drunk. The last night there, I blacked out. Remember, I had to get brought back in a cab. I was walking through the hallways of fucking Palazzo and shit.
Leave it to Matt. I used to live with this guy. For those of you who don't know, I used to live with old Matty.
The life of the party, baby. Oh yeah.
Oh, life of the party, no doubt about it. With them fat chicks. Bring over them fat chicks over to the house, Pullman.
Oh, man.
Where are we going? All right. Entertaining, baby. Entertaining. All right. And then we had Samoa Joe defeated Homicide. See, I expected more from these two because when I think Samoa Joe and Homicide, I mean, bang. That's Ring of Honor back in the day.
Yeah, they used to have that series in Ring of Honor. Before they were in TNA, right? That was like the top thing in the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, without a doubt, for a long time there. Samoa Joe was a headliner in Ring of Honor, and then they did that feud. He did a feud with Homicide down there. I mean, I don't follow ROH religiously, so I couldn't give you any dates of when it happened or whatever, but I know that they had a feud between Samoa Joe and Homicide down there. So I expected more from these two. We had Samoa Joe.
Well, don't get busy about it. Jesus.
I
expected more. Don't raise your voice at me, man. What the...
Oh, come on. Was that the voice raising or was that the voice cracking, man?
That was the voice cracking, man.
Yeah. All right, so we had a new X Division champion here, Samoa Joe, defeated Homicide via rear naked choke.
Taz doesn't even matter anymore already. Jesus Christ.
I know. Nobody cares about him anymore. I'm sad, you know what I mean? No. Because you said something last night, right, about Mick Foley, where Mick Foley had said, you know, he wrestled his last match, and here the guy is now. He was a world champion just a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean?
Going on house show tours. He's going on independent wrestling house show tours for indie shows, and they can't get Taz to wrestle one or two times. Come on.
Yeah. Well, Maybe. Yeah, I'm sure they're working on him. I'm sure it's been talked about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he may be adamant on not doing anything. He may just look, I'm done, and that's it. Whereas Foley, I mean, shoot, they gave Foley the world title. Yeah, that's true. They gave him the world title, and you know, he's working live events, like you said. He's working indie events, like you said too. They did a
with the Trina Michaels shit.
Trina Michaels. Yeah, I saw that YouTube video where they were inside a.
I got to say, the build up to that Kevin Nash, Mick Foley. You were telling me about it when it was happening on Impact, and I just didn't take it. I told you. What did I say? I gave you the example. I said UFC has a brand name where I trust it, and anytime they put something on, I'm going to watch it because I know it's going to be good or it could be good. TNA's got the brand name, at least to me, and this is good because I'm just now getting back into wrestling, but TNA to me, when I hear that, I'm like, it's TNA. How good can it be? I'm not even going to bother turning it on. It's just, you know, how good can it possibly be?
You've always been a huge mark for Sting as well.
Sting,
you know,
and Kevin Nash and Scott Steiner. They got a lot of my favorites there. They got them.
Yeah, so we had, what was it? It was Kevin Nash and Mick Foley for the Legends title. Tracy Brooks came out and interfered in this one. And then
it's like a distraction,
after the match we had Tracy Brooks. She's back on TV. She's going to be doing the Playboy spread here coming up in September. Although the September, as we noted on the website last night, the September issue of Playboy has no mention of Tracy Brooks. So maybe
it's the I think it's supposed to be October, right? And then September. It's in the August issue. In every issue, it tells you what's coming up for the next month's issue. And in the August issue, they talk about what's coming up for the September issue, and they don't mention her. So
they don't mention her. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what we put up on the website. So she came out and interfered. What do you think of Tracy Brooks? She ain't bad, right?
She's hot, but the match.
Not one of them fat chicks.
No, she's not one of them fat chicks. Definitely. But the match was. The crowd wasn't into it. I kept thinking when I was watching it, if this was at an indie show, the crowd would be going fucking apeshit. I mean, it's Kevin Nash and Mick Foley, and they're bleeding and they're trying, and you know they can't wrestle. Kevin Nash could never really work really good, and Mick Foley, was a bump machine that worked decent, and now he's not that good of a decent worker, and he can't take those bumps anymore. And Kevin Nash is even slower, and so I mean the wrestling itself, it wasn't like what did Jim Ross say, like a great catch can match, but they had like Mick Foley's been doing a lot of gimmick stuff in his matches to get out of the fact that he can't really work a hard main event style match anymore. And they had it, and they had a good one in this one with the blood. First Foley gets so cut up that the referees plead with him to stop, and they think it's kind of like the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match, only with blood instead of an injury angle. Because they had Undertaker Shawn Michaels did like a dive and hit just flat on the mat, and then the referee looked concerned for him, and you're all scared for Shawn, and then he's better. Undertaker does a dive, and then he almost kills himself. So you're scared for him. They did it with blood. They had Foley with the eye all cut up, and he couldn't, see out of his eye, and the ref's telling him to stop it, but he won't. And then a few minutes later, Kevin Nash is busted open, and now his eye's all fucked up, and the ref's telling him to stop. So it was, it was a cool story for the match, but the crowd was not into it that much. It seemed like. And
after the match, you had Kevin Nash attacked Foley, and then Abyss came down. And made the save, and that was sort of a tease. I know they didn't do the Abyss heel turn on Foley, but man, they definitely
Is he supposed to turn heel?
Well, no, but they planted the seeds for that if they wanted to do it.
I think they planted the seeds for something with Foley and Abyss. I don't know if. I don't know if it's going to be a match against each other. They could be like friends, but if they're planning on turning them heel, I don't know. I don't follow the news that much for TNA, so I don't
even if you do a tag team, you know what I mean.
Them working together in any fashion, it just looks cool. First of all, because Mankind and Abyss is the same thing pretty much. So
I know.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but you could. I mean, if you tag them up, you could always have one turn on the other, and then that sets up a match.
That's probably what they would do too if they
And of course, it's going to be a gimmick match. I mean, you'll see.
Oh yeah, bloody hardcore.
Thumbtacks and all that good stuff.
The bat with the barbed wire on it, which was a big spot in the match last night too.
Yeah, you said last night, they definitely planted the seeds for that if they want to do something with.
Well, why else would he come out? I mean, I don't follow the storyline, but he has nothing to do with Kevin Nash, the main event Mafia, or Mick Foley, right? Abyss, he doesn't have nothing to do with that. So
it was just the beginning. It was just a beatdown of Foley, and this is the beginning of an Abyss Foley alliance. At least that's what it looked like last night. And I'm like,
something with them too.
Yeah, and then you could have one of them turn on the other one at a later time. Maybe do it a Bound for Glory, a big pay-per-view, or something like that. You know what I mean? And then have them face each other, where you have Abyss versus Mick Foley. But
TNA tag titles, we had Booker T and Scott Steiner from the Main Event Mafia defending against Team 3D. Like I said earlier, that was a typical Team 3D match where they brawled throughout the crowd, and the crowd loves it. You know, it's great for the live audience because, you know, this is awesome. You get all that stuff and over here or whatever they were chanting because they wanted them on their side of the. But for TV,
but what was with the end? I mean, the end of that was horrible.
That's what I was getting to. Yeah, the finish was Team 3D. I'm not going to remember who it was, but they get one of the guys up, Steiner or Booker T, for the Doomsday Device, the Legion of Doom's finisher. And they hit that, and I think it was Bubba goes to pin the guy that they hit that with. And while that's going on, Booker T or Scott Steiner, whoever the other guy was, rolls up Devon. So you have two pins going on at the same time, and you get the 3 count for both, and then the two referees argue like they do, and you think it's going to get restarted or something, like this match must continue, the old Howard Finkel thing. But instead they stole a page out of the NFL playbook and did the NFL challenge-style replay where they watched the instant replay and voted and decided. And then that was the big finish. They had the guys go into the camera and stare into the camera like they do in the NFL, and then 2 minutes goes by and they say, all right, the referees have made their decision and still tag team champions, and that was it. Booker T and Scott Steiner retain.
Yeah, and the crowd shit all over that. I mean, that's
got to be Vince Russo too. It's got to be.
But why do you pay money to watch a pay-per-vieiew and then have a match like that? And then what? What do we tune into Impact on Thursday to see where they go from here? You know what I mean?
I guess. The Vince Russo's mindset, he's always said, all you got to do is put your finger on the pulse. And I guess because NFL season is starting up, they had to do an NFL challenge gimmick thing in one of their matches. I don't know, man. Don't ask me.
I mean, tune into Impact to find out.
I heard the Lions, man. I heard they did pretty good on that preseason game, by the way. Somebody was telling me that.
Stafford, man. Matt Stafford is no joke. So, I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see, man.
Does he have anybody to throw to? We don't really have any. Used to have.
See, I'm not really up on that. I know Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo looks nasty this year. We've got
I caught some of that game.
Last week. With Tennessee. Buffalo.
Yeah, I saw some of it. It was that going on, the roast was going on, and WC was going on all at the same time, and I was like flipping around through all of them.
Yeah, we got the New York Giants versus the Carolina Panthers on tonight, head to head with Monday Night Raw. It's just a preseason game now, so it's not like it matters. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. A lot of people get hyped up. Like, I know you're hyped up for NFL season, and you like to watch the preseason games, so.
Well, I watch them, but they put their starters in for just one drive. You know what I mean? And then they take them out, and that's it. Because you don't want anybody to get injured before the actual season begins. So,
anyways, then there was the main event. We already talked about that earlier. Kurt Angle defeated Matt Morgan and Sting to retain the TNA title after he faked a serious injury. That's that, I guess. And I mean, that was TNA Hard Justice. I said B- or a C+. I'm probably leaning more towards a C+ now that I run it down over my head again. But average show, nothing special, nothing really. Yeah,
what was it? One title change?
No. The X title changed. The X title changed. The Knockouts title changed. The Legends title changed.
Right.
3 title changes.
3 title changes. You're right. No doubt. Well. I don't know, I'm going to stick with my C-. That's all I got for you. That's
not so good. Tonight, the Impact tapings are in Orlando. They're going to be doing a couple of sets of tapings this week. Tonight, we'll have Awesome Kong versus Sarita versus Christy Hemme versus Tracy Brooks in a 4-way knockout match or whatever. AJ Styles, they promoted this at the pay-per-view, will have some kind of announcement on his future or something. And Bobby Lashley is confirmed to appear as well. That show that they're taping tonight will air this Thursday on Spike TV in its normal time slot. So that's the Impact thing. We should have the spoilers for that up in a few hours on WZROnline.com.
I should get an email here fairly soon. They're taping that right now, so we'll put them up on the website as well. The Raw Dark matches and the Superstars tapings are going to start here in probably, what are we at,